What's up, guys? It's your girl Joy back with another banger. I am here with my favorite class. And we learning about the different types of sentences. And it can be a little complicated. So we are learning about simple, compound, complex, compound, complex. So I'm gonna tell them a story. It is somewhat true. It is true. It did happen. But you know, it's my story. Okay, so listen. I'm independent. I'm like, I don't need nobody. I don't need no man. I'm independent. Subject and verb. I am complete. Period. So I could pay my bills. I'm gonna pay my telephone bills. I don't know the words to any song, but that's the only part I know. I should say I do. Something like that, right? So I'm independent. I don't need anybody. You hear me? Because I got my coin. I got a few dollars in the bank. Not a lot, okay? You know, sometimes it's hard, but you know, I got my coin. And I am complete. I am a complete thought. I am a complete lady. Okay? So, independent clause. Put the clause at the end, right? Y'all all get that, right? Yeah. So that's where we start. Now, base. So, you know, I'm doing my thing, living life. I'm living life. Going out, going shopping to Walmart. Because, you know, I don't make that much money. So, going shopping. Walmart bags. And, sometimes Bath and Body Works. All right, listen. Okay, let me get back to the story, okay? So I was like, I'm doing this for a while now. So I was like, I need something different. I want somebody else to take me out. So I'm like, let me go on this dating site. Oh. You know, a girl likes to date sometimes. So I went on a dating site and I met some fanboys. And so I was like, I want me an independent man, right? So I'm like, oh, I'm gonna give me an independent man because I'm an independent woman. And if we both come together, that's like the perfect compound. Okay, so anyway, so I meet this guy. He shows up, right? I was like, whew. I was like, hey, daddy. So I was like, oh, God, he is fine, right? I'm like, oh my God, I don't know what to do. He's independent. He drives a Tesla. I was like, oh, he's driving a Tesla. I hope he's not the parking attendant. But anyway, I was like, oh, he is fine. So I was like, hey, how you doing? You know, I'm trying to get myself together. And I'm like, Joy, yeah, I'm independent, but you can take care of me any day. No, like go out, take me to dinner. No. Take me out, cause you know he driving a Tesla. All right, so anyway, he's independent. He has a good job, honey. So I know his bank account was fat, right? So I went, so we go out and I get a call from my mama. Oh no. I say, yes. She says,
you are not grown. I'm still your mother. And when you go out with Mr. Chocolate, you make sure the fanboys go with you to coordinate everything. And they better stay in the middle.
I'm like, what, Mom? But that's like, you know, blocking all our fun and stuff. That's like a third wheel.
What I say? I'm your mama, and that's what I'm saying.
I'm like, ooh, this lady. Okay, mama. So, Mr. Independent and me, Miss Independent, tag along with the fanboys. And they coordinate everything. So we go out, you know, I'm thinking we're gonna snuggle and stuff. You know, Mr. Chocolate. At the movies. So I'm thinking we're gonna snuggle like, and then here comes the fanboys. Excuse me, Mr. Chocolate. Mr. Universe. And they sit down in the middle. I'm like, excuse me. He said, you want me to call your mama? I said, no. He said, I done coordinated all of this stuff. So have a good time, but I'm staying in the middle, okay? And that's what makes compound. You got independent, but who's always in the business? Fanboy or coordinated conjunctions. Coordinate all of our plans, okay? So we dated for a while.
3 years.
15.
It was 5 months.
We dated 2 years.
Okay.
It was 2.5 years and things were great. We were a great compound. We were a great team.
Stable.
You know, stable. We doubled the salary, okay? It was good. Then I upgraded my whip. So the compound was doing great. Independent, but the fanboys and the coordinated conjunctions, they were still there. So they're never gonna go anywhere. So we was like, whatever, we just gonna deal with it, what it is, right? So things eventually started going
Downhill.
Why?
just problems. Do you want the tea or you want to tell your own tea?
I want the tea.
So, Mr. Independent, Mr. Fine Independent, and the fanboys, they left.
Oh, cheated.
They eventually left.
Why?
So the situation got very complex. It was a complex situation. He left, he decided to do his own thing. True story. You better believe me. He decided to do his own thing and left me. And sadly, everything was complicated. It was complex. It was really complex. And sadly, they left. But what did he also leave me with?
The car.
The kids. Fanboys. The kids.
Oh, they get
Fanboys. A baby. A baby boy.
A baby. So now,
No, her daughter.
so now I have a dependent. So I'm independent. I can take care of myself still, but it's complex now. So now I have a dependent. The baby just cries all the time. But I still want to live my life because I'm independent. My life should not be over because the other independent is living their life. So I want to live my life too, but it's still complicated. So I was like, what am I going to do? So I'm like, I'm independent. I got this dependent. You just can't leave the dependent alone. The baby cries a lot. The baby's spoiled. So I was like, I know what to do. I'm going to get a sub. A subordinated conjunction to watch the baby. So the sub always stays with the dependent because I want to go out and get my groove on. They went out to get their groove on, so why can't I? I just have to take my complicated, complex situation and add a sub to go with the baby, the dependent. So therefore, that's what makes it a complex sentence. It's complicated. True story, by the way. So you got me, independent, plus subordinating conjunction, the sub, and the dependent. That's what makes it complex. So, once again, the dependent and the sub always stay together. So the baby always have a babysitter. So I can still go out and do my thing if I want to. It's complex, but it is what it is. You get that? So the mama's left with the baby. How many situations are there like that? Complicated and making a complex situation for single mothers and some single dads. All right, what it is what it is. You keep on moving and shaking and baking, and that's what I did. Right? So I'm shaking and baking. The baby with the sub, because you know I got the sub. I could go out a little bit, right? Shake and bake. So a year goes by.
Oh.
One day, someone knocks on my door. And I'm like, it's late. And you know what happens when you get late visits and late stuff is always something. So I go and look through the peephole. And then my knees was like, ooh. I was like, whoa. I start fixing myself, and you know I had my nightgown, my bonnet on. I had to snatch the bonnet off. Oh, girl. It was Mr. Independent, honey. And baby, it looked like he'd been working out. I was like, oh God, that's the baby's daddy. I'm like, what is he want? And you know, I gotta act like I got an attitude because I done did the whole pregnancy and the whole baby thing by myself. True story. So I open the door, I kind of try to have an attitude, but I'm like, oh my God, inside, my heart is going, boom, 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 take me! Right, so I was like, I opened the door, I was like, yes? What can I do you for? You know, and I have, you know, popping my thumb, what you want? You haven't been around any other time, yes? And he was like, what's up, shorty? What's up, shorty?
Can't just come back like that.
Still looking good, I see. Your situation still complex? I want to make it compound complex.
I like when you just like, that's the best thing about it.
Oh my God.
What is his name?
Well, the baby sleep. When you know, I'm still trying to hold on to the attitude. So I'm like, what? Where you been? I ain't getting no money, nothing. You looking good? What you doing? I done cooked a little something. You hungry, Daddy? Well, it is the baby's daddy, right? You I can't call him. He's the baby daddy. You say baby daddy, not daddy. But I meant baby's daddy. No, you anyway. So anyway, you know, we tried to work on some things, but the situation, it finally evolved into a compound, complex situation. So it was mom and dad, and who stays in the middle? Because the fanboys or the coordinator. So you have independent mom, because she still got her job. She ain't letting that go for nobody. Because when Mr. Independent wants to leave, take your stuff and get in a garbage bag, and there's the door. Because I will always be independent. So anyway, but you know it's nice when you can double up that salary. So anyway, you have independent, then you got Mr. Independent looking good. And then you still got the fanboys coordinate everything in the middle. They gotta stay in the middle for the compound. And then the complex situation, you know, we did what we did. It is what it is. We now have our dependent, our one little dependent. But who always stays with the dependent? The babysitter. So the subordinating conjunction always stays with the dependent, because mom and dad like to go out, like to get a dance on. Hey, so we decided to work things out, and hey, we lived happily ever after.